Welcome back to the Yes Impact podcast. I am here with Bruna Rascassi today. She is a coach and psychoanalyst for entrepreneurs and high-profile professionals in Zurich as well in Brazil. Welcome here.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Such a pleasure to have you in Switzerland. Today we're talking about mental health, and it is such a dominant topic in our society and something that really concerns everyone, if we talk about it or not. What made you actually go into this field?
I go into this field because of a painful moment that I experienced. I had just started studying in one of the best universities in Brazil, performing art. And suddenly in the beginning of, I was planning my entire life, bonding, parties, making friends for life. And I received a call. My stepdad was dead. Yeah. And I went home and find my mother and my sister broken, devastated. And all the people telling me, hey, you need to be strong. You need to help your sister. You need to help your mother. She's 10 years younger than me. Suddenly, I came back. I left the place that I was sharing with my classmates. And I came back to my mother's house. And I was divided between these two worlds. One colorful, full of possibilities, the happiness. And when I arrived home, it's oh my God, empty, gray, and with all of the things. And my sister started to develop a very bad behavior. And when she got older, things got worse. And in the middle of the last semesters, I just it was enough, I can't handle anymore. So I start the psychoanalysis study at that moment because I just thought or I'm going to get good in this or I will get crazy. There's no other possibility. So this is how I started. And then I started with the psychoanalysis to understand. And for me, it wasn't enough. It's amazing, but it wasn't enough. And when I started with the patients, I thought that something was missing and I need more. So I got specialized in access to the unconscious and all the other things that I studied to understand in a different level the human. And when I find the key is when I started the neuroscience in the implicit reintegration therapy. So this is where I am now.
It's a really profound, deep story that actually got you into this topic.
Yeah.
I can definitely relate to that. Yeah. We'll get to that later as well.
Yeah.
You have a lot of very high-profile clients from Zurich specifically, and also Switzerland in general. What I notice a lot with people as well that are very successful here, but still we have a lot of challenges, and we have a lot of limiting beliefs as well that still keep us from reaching higher. Is there something you notice in your clients in general where they have a specific limiting belief, and how can we overcome it? Something you notice typical for you, for example?
Well, every single human being is unique and has its own way to experience world. But in the world of high performance, one thing that it's very common, it is the high expectation. So the fear of failing, and the judgment that comes with it. So what will people think? It in many times put the person in contact with the pattern of not being good enough. And, for example, can guide to behaviors like procrastination, this kind of thing. So what I saw, it was this particular thing, the fear of failing and what comes with it, judgment and everything. So one of the most important things, it is to build clarity. So what is the purpose to do what I'm doing? Why I am doing what I am doing? Why is this meaningful for me? All the questions that allow me to understand why I'm choosing this. Because, and first also to validate yourself in the process, to understand, okay, but to do that, what is required? And in which path am I to understand, to validate, and not being this this wheel of doubting yourself all the time, and just welcome the vulnerability that it's there. So it would be this one of the possibilities to overcome.
I think that's a great tip for me also. Whenever I struggled, it was very important to remember what my core mission was, since I was really a teenager, basically, which is always helping in the world and making things a little bit better, one step at a time. And whenever I felt overwhelmed, that was always like a guiding light that reminded me that even if I didn't do things perfect, as long as I still kept on my path, I would do well, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. To remind you all the time why you started, why is this important, what is the purpose, and why is this important? Is this aligned with me, with my values? You know, is this a project that is still, it still has life in it, you know? Because this is also important to question ourselves if this is something that it breathes or it's already dead, you know? So we won't be investing energy and a lot of time and even money in something that it's already dead.
Makes a lot of sense. And as entrepreneurs, we experience so many of these mental ups and downs as well. Huge successes and then downfalls again. And it can just break your soul from time to time. Do you have like a tip of how people can really push through when times get tough and they've experienced so much failure and they just need to push through as well?
First of all, Louise, it's important to be gentle to yourself, you know, to remind that you are already doing a lot. So this welcoming the feeling, welcoming the emotion, to just allow yourself to feel. So I would start with this. Like, okay, what are you feeling? And it's okay to feel like this. It's allowed for you to feel like this, and to see what is the challenge, what is the problem there, that we can create a strategy. So the first step would be, let me welcome, let me understand that this is absolutely normal, especially in this role of high performance that requires more than a lot from everyone. And then sit down and, okay, bring clarity. What is the challenge? What is the problem? Let's sit down and create strategies to overcome this. This would be the path.
I like that. Something we experience a lot in our society and that we see among friends or colleagues a lot is burnout, or people almost getting to burnout, on the brink of it, basically. Severe problem, and I think most of our listeners at some point of their life could relate to that as well. Is there a way of how we can really guard our energies before this even happens, really protect the energy so we don't even get into that zone of danger, I would say?
I would say that one way to protect yourself from that, it is to be aware, to be conscious on how you are experiencing your life, you know. So for example, if you are being able to practice physical activities, if you pay attention to health meals, to have health meals, to have a good night of sleep, preparing your sleeping time, to have time to enjoy yourself with friends, having me time, if you're being able to rest with no guilty, you know, this would be like, am I aware? Am I, it's okay for me. I'm experiencing the life the way it is. Because when we are experienced like this, we will find this balance, even when we are in a bad, Jesus Christ. Sorry, can I drink some water?
Of course, there was a lasagna break. Yeah, you can just focus and restart.
Yeah, from the beginning?
No, just the last sentence you
Okay.
want. Yeah, just where you stumbled, basically.
Yeah, even when we are experiencing like the bad moments, you know, but this is something that is tricky because sometimes we don't see. And it's important to pay attention, for example, to friends, because friends, they pay attention to us. So they say, hey, no, you're not coming anymore. Oh, you're so funny, so outgoing. And then you change it, you know. So, and sometimes we don't see this happening, you know, when we are feeling more irritated, when lack of patience with everything that happens, or being tired all the time. So these are things that it's really important. But in order to be in a path of conscience would be like, how am I experiencing my life? Am I being able to navigate to all parts of my life? Or, for example, I'm just working, you know, this would be really important.
Absolutely. In the beginning, you mentioned a topic that's very close to my heart as well, and something that you experience as well is the trauma that you and your family went through. And I think trauma is something that a lot of our listeners have been through as well. It could be a severe illness you had. It could be the loss of a parent or another loved person. It could be some people have been through war and conflict. And for me, it was the death of my mom 5 years ago due to cancer. And for me, that was just a chapter that ripped me apart into shreds, basically, because before that, I had quite a peaceful life, I would say, an exciting, beautiful life, but never with any dramatic changes, I would say. And suddenly, it's just like the ground under your feet is wiped away. And then suddenly there you are with one parent gone and a trauma like you've never experienced before, and you're just trying to handle yourself. And you have no idea how to even start the healing process or what that means or how you should even handle yourself on a daily basis. And at the same time, I actually had quite a few of my friends as well that lost their mom as well. So we were all going through similar things. And I could see how everybody dealt with it very differently. So for me, it was very important what I noticed at the time, that I would just really listen to my heart as well and what I felt to do on that particular day. So if in one moment I just wanted to cry for 2 days straight, just after she had died, I did exactly that. And if I wanted to do a travel, go on a boat and party or whatever, I also did that. No explanations asked. And I noticed that just following my heart in those moments was really valuable. And of course, my friends and family supported me there as well. I know you work with people with trauma as well. Would you say are some of the first steps that somebody can take towards healing, if that's even a concept, and to deal with the pain?
I would say that we need to face the pain, to face the conflict, to experience it, so I won't hold this in me for the rest of my life. Because what happens is that the brain works in order to protect us. So he will try to do everything that it's possible to avoid the pain. And especially in situations like this, that it's the deepest pain we don't want to experience again. It's really hurtful. So it's a very common thing to happen, to just it was like button holding there, you know, like, let me hide this. I don't want to work with this. And then if I give the time, enough time, it will go away. But the thing is, it won't go away. So when I experience, for example, the grief, when I allow myself to talk, to miss, to experience, to share this, I started to process of healing, of letting go of the pain, to welcome, like in this kind of process, all the love that was there since the beginning, you know, and with all the traumas or bad experiences, because a trauma is like something that happens that exceeded my capacity, my emotional capacity to do it. And because of this protective way that the brain has, and I don't want to feel the pain, I started to develop behaviors to avoid it. So I started to build a different narrative for my life. And most of the times, this narrative is not helpful, you know, and this is the thing that we need to face. I would say there's no run away from this. It's facing the conflict, it's facing the pain, so you allow yourself to be free again and creating a different meaning for the experiences that you had.
I think that's beautifully said, really. And very valuable, I think, for a lot of people to hear as well. In processing this pain, which you've never really experienced before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because this is the thing. We believe that we don't want to feel, and okay, by pretending that it's not there, it will go away. Actually, we get sick because we hold this, because we don't allow ourselves to feel, because we don't know, we are not taught on how to experience the emotion. And there's no bad or good emotion. Emotions are a natural response to the trigger, you know. So the thing is learning how to feel, how to experience, and how to address the emotion to a better place, you know.
For me, it was also always, I wondered, how can I keep her memory, her legacy, right? You want to
Yes.
continue her life in a way.
Yes.
So you're thinking, do I do a scholarship in her name, or does
Yeah.
she need a monument somewhere in the middle of Zurich or something like that? But
Perfect.
my mom was a very humble person, so I know she would find that rather embarrassing, actually, and rather doubtful. And for me, it took a long time, but at some point I actually realized the legacy that I hold from her is supporting other women and moms as well.
Perfect.
In this life, and also, of course, by just living my own life with the greatest joy and passion, and because she always loved her work as well, and so this is a great way to continue her legacy as well.
Yes. But this is amazing to hear, because this is you honoring her and allowing the love to flow and not be there with the suffering and the pain of the loss, you know. Because, for example, in my experience, I stayed for a long time in this darkness, you know, because this was required almost. Like, even at the moment of the loss, people like look at me and I was crying and they stopped crying. It's, okay, so everything was there, like, you know. And when I start my own therapeutic process, that I could see, like, that I was really wrong with myself, that I wasn't treating myself in a fair way and with love, and requiring me something that wasn't even human. Because yes, it's allowed to be sad, it's allowed to be bad, it's allowed to not want to get up from the bed, you know, it's allowed to hate, you know, but then going back to life. And I was in the opposite way, you know. But when I start going back to the right way, to the right road, everything got better, and I understood, and I overcome this pain, and I open a space to love.
I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
For me, I remember also, like, the first days, I was just scared that I would fall into a dark, dark hole forever and ever and not get out of it for many years, basically. It was because you can't handle yourself, so you don't know where your emotions are going to go. And for me, I took some time, but then actually it was my passion for certain work projects that I had, like my projects in different African countries and so on, that really, where my curiosity and my passion came out again, and where I slowly started working again. And then also I was lucky because my friends and family managed to hold the space really well. So they would always, if I came by their place, they would always ask, hey, do you need like, do you need an open ear now, or would you rather get some distraction right now, a little bit of fun or a nice food? And I could always choose, and if I switched my mind, then they would still be open for that. And that kind of, them not being really awkward around me helped me so much.
Yes. Yes, and they were paying attention.
They were paying
what
attention.
Do you need?
What do you need? Yeah.
Yes.
And
This
often
is
I wouldn't
important.
know. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm just a blur right now, no idea. But let's start with a bit of talking.
Yeah.
And then maybe we go into fun after or something.
Yes.
Yeah. But that was really helpful.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right, let's get into a little bit lighter topics now. I would love to know, because a lot of people, they struggle with the stress and like having a really balanced mind. So do you have maybe some unusual tips for people of how they can get more into the balanced mindset again? And
It's really, really important to establish a routine, because it is how the brain requires routine, So I always say for my patients, like, we have the 30 minutes rule in the morning and at night. So, for example, when you are starting your day, wake up, turn off the alarm, but then don't touch the cell phone or don't turn on the TV for at least the first 30 minutes. Do whatever you need to do, hygiene, the breakfast, but then sit down, breathe, having some, or meditate, and start with the patterns of thought, because they are really important to guide you. Like I always say that it's not the pattern that heals, but it turns on the light on the path that it's important for you to continue. So you can say, for example, in the morning, I welcome this day. This is going to be a great day, a day full of great opportunities. I am love in movement. I can do great things. I see the other the way the other is, not the way I want them to be. All these kind of things that will provoke your patterns, to put you in a place where, okay, where I'm going to, where do I want to be? So this will help. And of course, sit down, writing, planning your day, all of this safe psychological energy. Because sometimes, because we know what we have to do, we don't do that. It's like, I have to do, I know, let's see, I have a busy day, but then all the things get like as an overwhelmed burden, because I am experiencing everything once and not just, okay, for today, I have this to do and it's okay. And I can even enjoy myself in the end of the day, So this, I always say, bring clarity. The brain needs to see. It's not like when it's just there, I know what I have to do. You're going to forget. Something is going to be on the way, because especially in this field of high performance, because people do a lot of things. It's not just one activity. There's like many open projects. So that's why it's so important to establish the routine. The routine is like you consciously choosing how to experience your day, because the brain, when it's not working with routine, established routine, it's working in the past. And when the brain is working in the past, it is activating the patterns that are there, that I don't even know, I'm not aware of. Something happened, there was, I don't know, a problem during the day. If I am not conscious, choosing to be conscious in that moment, I can feel, for example, oh my God, this won't work. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, maybe I should give up on this. All of this, but it's not connected to that moment. It's connected to the fear of feeling what probably the person felt in a moment of her or his life, So this is a very important step to start with.
Very important for me also, the routines. I mean, I struggle to keep them up sometimes, but I notice when I pull through with them, I'm so much better.
Yes.
It starts with the morning, with the meditation, visualization of the day, a great breakfast as well, and then of course things like sports and journaling and so on and so on.
Perfect. But journaling is a very good way to bring your thoughts, your feelings to material world. It's a way of somehow organizing things that are not organized inside. It's a very important thing to do too. I always say, like, in the end of the day, write, just to remind, to pay attention if you're conscious or not. How did I experience this day? Like being thankful for at least 3 things that happened, but always ask, how did I choose myself today? How did I love myself today?
And what am I going to do about it tomorrow?
Exactly. Exactly, because it's okay if, because maybe like in a crazy day, a very busy day, you didn't even pay attention to, I don't know, to how much of water did you did you take, so yeah, tomorrow I'm going to pay more attention to that.
Yeah.
I will take care of
I love that. From our pre-discussion, I know you work very much with neuroscience as well, but you're also very much in the spirituality side, which I think is a fascinating combination.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know from you, because obviously spirituality plays a big part. It can be anything from religious belief to other forms of spirituality. But how do you see it in the context of the mental state as well and mental health? What role does it play?
Well, we are a spiritual being living a material experience, a material life, and not the opposite. So this spirituality, in order to be connected to something that is bigger than us, that is higher, this is really important because it brings us like some higher purpose. It allowed me to nourish myself in a different way because it's more connected to the being and not to have or doing, And this is spirituality that I believe that it's so important to keep the balance, to keep you healthy in a world like us. It's not connected to religion. Because with the religions, we have all the rules, all the beliefs, and sometimes this can create other conflicts. So allowing yourself to feel, because spirituality means believing in something that it's not there. So to belong to something, the first essential needs of the human being, it is to belong, to be touched. And when I have this feeling of, hey, I felt the presence of something. It can be the universe, it can be the nature. It doesn't have to be the way some religions show people, But it's like to allow you to believe that there is something else. There is a bigger purpose. And when we are really down, when we are experiencing things, moments that are really dark, this can help us balance.
A beautiful way of putting it, yeah. Still reflecting about it. I also see a lot, you work with clients both in Brazil as well as here in Switzerland. First of all, how did this come about? And then I'm very curious about the differences as well that you might see in your clients culturally. Is there a difference in how emotions are lived and also expressed? And also, can we maybe learn something from each other?
Oh, I believe that we always can learn from each other. Well, I start working with clients from here, from Switzerland, because one of my patients was connected to some people from here, and she recommended me, and then the net happened. But I really believe that the cultural difference brings something that it's really interesting to understand, because in Brazil, we are a culture that always believe in something, in miracle, because of the structure of the country, because of many things that we have there. And to the emotions, for example, we are always not more because I saw this here too, but with the flexibility. But we are like, Brazilians are probably one of the most resilient people on earth. But at the same time, this like need of believing in something special can make the person not taking the responsibility. And this can be a challenge, And one of the first things that I saw when I start working with the Swiss people, it was how disciplined they were. Like I say that I'm always sending tasks and a lot of things to the process, and the first thing was like, I sent this to a patient, and the next week I wasn't expecting her to have this accomplished, And then say, she did, and oh my God.
I think these things are holy for us. Yeah.
Yes.
A deadline is a deadline. Yeah.
And this is amazing because you can do, and you take this as a responsibility. So the thing that I saw that was really different, and for example, the Brazilians can learn a lot. It is how you look at you. You allow yourselves to look at it. But at the same point, one thing that I saw that is sometimes I don't allow myself to feel, okay, what I have to do, I have to put this there. Okay, I put this there. And that's it, you know. But how did you feel in the process to take this to the other place? I didn't even pay attention. Let's see, you know, like this, allowing yourself to understand, to feel, to be there. So it's this mixture. It would be perfect.
I think it's fascinating. Yeah. I always love learning about the differences and the commonalities.
Yes.
Okay, I have one more question before we go into the rapid fire round. So rapid fire is very short questions, very short answers, basically.
Oh my God.
Do you see any trends at the moment in the mental health space, either now or coming up in the next years? And how can we react to that, basically?
What I can see is like there is this open space to holistic treatments, you know. But with this neuroscience study that I did, and with this new approach of therapy, which is the implicit reintegration therapy, I see this as like the third wave of psychology, because it basically allows you to be the human that you are.
Yeah.
So you, of course, you need to have a conflict. So you have this conflict, you need to face it the way it has to face it. Every single patient is different. And then you do whatever it takes during the therapy, and you get rid of that thing that was, I don't know, like holding you into this pathological adaptation, you know. So everything that allow you to experience, to feel, will be something good, you know. Because on the other things, you can, like, maybe even for psychology, in many situations, like, we offer the patient the tools of suppression. And this is really important to understand, because yeah, of course, we needed to understand. We needed to see what was the path that made me who I am today. To understand what is good, reinforce what is not that good, what needs to change, and what are the things that are there to change. But sometimes even understanding this, like I hear this a lot, like, yeah, I know, Bruna, but I still feel this, you know. And this is the feeling in that point that, for example, the IRT work, because then we go deeper into that pattern that made you feel like this, you know. And then you're free to build a different pattern. If you're going to do or not, then it's up to you, you know. But this allow you to be like the human that you are. Because sometimes, like, oh, I'm some people, I hear this in the process from patients, for example, that have a very difficult and pathological relationship with parents, for example. And then, like, they feel so guilty by not wanting them around. And like, hey, okay, but who would want to receive something that it's bad, you know? And when I understand that this is human, that then I break the beliefs. Oh, they are parents, so you need to love your parents, you need to be happy. No, I need to honor, I need to respect. This is a completely different role, you know. The understandment will allow us, for example, to get rid of the guilty, to get rid of the burden that we carry. Because sometimes most of the times, we sacrifice ourselves, taking the pain, the story that belongs to the other, because of the love that I have for my mother, for example, I carry her pain for many, many, many years, you know, and this was healing me. Then I got rid of it, and I was like, okay, now I can go back to life. So this, I really believe that it's something that it's going to be really big and really good.
That's a good prognosis, yeah.
Yes.
Not bad. Let's get to our fast fire round. Okay, quick questions and short answers. What's
Oh my God.
best advice you ever received?
Release.
What's one daily thing you do to keep balance?
Pattern of thoughts all the time. When I'm just, I don't know, I wake up, I'm like, okay, I'm love in movement. I see good and everything. I'm thinking all the time.
That's beautiful. One book or podcast or quote that has shaped you?
To the others, the right to be who they are. To me, the duty to be better. Yeah.
Lovely. Is there something you used to believe in mental health and now you think, no, completely changed my mind about that?
I used to believe that, for example, when someone experiences a trauma, this person is going to carry this for the rest of her life, and this will determine her destiny.
Yeah.
You know, and studying how the brain works, I'm thinking completely different way.
Favorite music?
Oh my God. Just Like Fire, Pink.
Oh, I love that. And your last words to our listeners for today?
I forgot. I wrote. Can I see?
Of course. If you could leave our listeners today with just one message, what would it be?
Love yourself. Love heals everything.
I think these are perfect final words. Thank you so much, Bruna, for having been here on the Yes and Bye podcast.
Thank you.